ripped my heart out of my chest. That's hurt me. No, don't say this about him. I loved it so much. It's actually quite entertaining. Hey book besties, welcome or welcome back. My name is Siân. It has been 6 months since I last did a video reading 1-star reviews of my favourite books, and I just felt like doing it again. In all honesty, I found it quite hilarious to see some of the reviews that people have written about books that I love. As much as it hurts, because I'm like, I just don't understand how you can think that. It's actually quite entertaining. So let's do it again. I've read a lot of books in the last 6 months. I'm currently on my 97th book of the year and we're only in October. So you can imagine how many of those have been in the last 6 months. So let's have a look. Okay, King of Envy. Men will do anything but go to therapy. Anna tried but failed again. But we're hopeful for Maya and Sebastian's book. I had to read this for my Serbian king, but this book is so mid, oh my god. It's not bad, but also nothing about it is interesting or well written. It's not even funny at times. Literally 1 star, like, what? Someone's put in quotes, I was the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar corporation and a former member of an assassins organization. LMFAO. DNF, honestly there was no chemistry between the characters, it was almost too fast paced but yet nothing was happening at the same time. I'm convinced everyone is reading a different copy of this book because it's definitely not the one I'm reading. I don't agree, I loved it. I literally gave it 4.75 stars. I loved it so much. In case you're wondering about the balloons behind me, it was my friend Lauren's birthday and me and my friend Hall decided to have a little birthday party for her at my house. So I had a load of balloons that I decorated all around the house, and then now that I've been tidying up, I didn't want to pop them, so I thought I'm just going to tie them all to my little banister because it just looks really cute. So every time I've come into the room today I've been like, ah. So let's just pretend that that's not even there. Next up we've got The Song of Achilles. I gave this 5 stars. This is one of my god tier books. Let us see what people have to say about this. This is gonna hurt me, I think, because this book was just everything. Oh god, here we go. 1.5 stars. Oh man, where do I start with this one? I know the big majority of people love this book. They cried and were heartbroken and it was the best thing they've ever read. But for me, it was just so boring. The characters were horrendous. If I wanted to read about the most useless, passive and boring narrator being in love with this attractive golden god with no personality, and when he does have one, he just turns into a selfish prick, I would just reread Twilight. Seriously, can Patroclus be any more of a Bella? No, don't say this about him. I'm going to disagree with the Orange Prize Committee. I'm going to disagree with thousands of Goodreads reviewers. This book is crap. Okay, all you trolls. Go ahead and tell me what a Philistine I am, how ignorant I am of Greek literature and mythology, and how my failure to appreciate this book reflects my limitations rather than those of the book. I hated pretty much everything about this. The only reason I didn't DNF was because I wanted to watch them die, suffering and begging for death. Oh, no. No, I can't. No, that's hurting me. That's hurting me. This book is absolutely everything to me. Like, everything to me. Me and my friend Imogen, so I read it in May. She's literally read it, I think it was like last month, and we were discussing and she absolutely loved it. And she was like devastated and I was like, yes, somebody else who feels my pain. And then we've created a Spotify playlist. I'll include it right here if you want to go listen. That's how much we loved it. Like, we wanted to listen to songs that would remind us of certain moments of this book. That's how amazing it was. So I can't continue to read those bad reviews, not for that one. It means too much to me. Okay, The Tenant by Frida McFadden, I gave that 4.75. Let's read the 1 stars. I need a level 10 hug after that. Goldie was the best character in this book and she was a fish. If Frida won't take a break from writing her books, then I'm taking a break from reading them. I can't anymore. The fish is the only normal character. I wonder how good of an author Frida would be if she took more than 2 days to write a book. This was the most nonsensical, convoluted hot garbage I read all year. What in the Goldie, Limonene, Quilizabeth, Snickerdoodle Fruit Fly was this book? Somebody else said, actually terrible. I loved it. The twists had me by the throat. Maybe it's because I've not read that many of Frida's books. I've read about 6 or 7. So I've not read her whole body of work. So I don't know if people is kind of giving the same story over and over, but I've not felt that for the ones I've read. I really enjoyed it. Like, it's been made into a film. I've heard it's been made into a film. Like, that's how good it was. Oh, Rewind It Back by Liz Tom Ford. I gave that 4.5 stars. Oh, don't let people be mean to my little Rio. I wanted to DNF around 70%. I should have. None of the Rio personality we saw in previous books was in his book. There was no light-hearted, goofy guy with a boombox. It almost felt like there were too many obstacles, but they were all so shallow. The miscommunication, underlying storyline was highly annoying. This felt like shallow, pointless, and needs a rewrite. I'd give this book 0 stars if I could. Rio deserved better than this. So disappointed. She had a good idea, but didn't know how to write it. The whole thing is a mess. Someone else has said, I'm not ready to talk about how heartbroken I am over this rating. This wasn't even remotely good. LMFAO. I only enjoyed reading about the friend group, but there was barely any scenes of them all together. This is like made in a lab to piss me off. It's actually a hate crime against humanity that there are more than one of these, and the fact that I've read them just goes to show that I'm susceptible to anti-feminist fascist propaganda and that my brain capacity during law school was at an even more worryingly low level than previously believed. Also that I have an unhealthy addiction to completeness on Goodreads because I cannot believe I'm logging this publicly. I'm only like 30% joking, by the way. People are brutal. I loved this series. This series is one of my favourite series of all time. Like, the way Liz Tom Ford writes a romance, holy shit. All This Twisted Glory was god tier for me. Oh, don't let people say horrible things. This was so bad, so bad. Number one, Tahara Mafi has such a talent in dragging the plot at an absolutely glacial pace. Why does it take chapters and chapters to spend time on the tiniest bit of plot? Number two, why were we present for only 48 hours of this book? The time skip was such a cop-out. Tahara Mafi is allergic to passing any time whatsoever. Needless to say, if I become insane and choose to read the rest of the series, I'll borrow it from the library. This was not worth my money. No. Eliza actually needs to get a grip. She's so pathetic. I've read more well-formed characters in Reader in a 5-sauce fan fiction. Girl, you've known this man for 48 hours. I promise you it's not that. After an outstanding first book, this Woven Kingdom was destined to become one of my favourite series ever, and I didn't expect less from Tahara Mafi, an author that I love, until this turned out to be my biggest disappointment ever. I don't see this. I don't. Someone's given it 1 star and they put unicorn milkshake ass book cover. To say I'm disappointed would be a major understatement. It isn't news that BookTok has an obsession with the dark, edgy love interest. I don't bash people's interests even if I disagree, but this is warranted. To say I'm disappointed would be a major understatement. This book was literally everything to me. Like, I think about it constantly. Someone said nothing fucking happened. They just talk and talk all the time. For God's sake, shut up and do something. Do you know what? That's one thing I've enjoyed about this series is that there isn't much in the way of plot, and a lot of it is inner monologue, conversations and relationship building. And that makes it different than your average series. Like, I think it's done incredibly well. Older by Jennifer Hartman. I gave it 4 stars. 19-year-old me would have eaten this shit up and been so into it. 30-year-old me is cringing and has alarm bells ringing, and that's growth, baby. Everyone has lost their damn minds. If I could give negative stars, I would. This book was so damn boring. Never have I read a forbidden age gap romance so dull in my life. Where was all the angst from this trope? This was actually so bad I ended up skimming the last 20%. This was too long and the constant switch up from read was giving me whiplash. What in the Wattpad was that? The writing is absolutely atrocious. Oh my god, people are so mean. Okay, what else? What else? Do you know what? Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna do my book, Hellraiser, because I have had a 1 star. Only one, but I'm gonna read it out. They said, yeah, no. They're already greatly in love and it's barely 20%. And the thing is, it's not even that many pages. I actually love insta-love/lust, don't get me wrong, but I cringed, gagged, and left. So they've shelved it as did not finish and thought they'd give me a nice 1-star review for the trouble. And honestly, I will openly admit my book is insta-lust, but it's not insta-love. They do get together in the book. The relationship is not the end goal of the book. It's like happens mid-book and then they're in the relationship for the rest of the story. But they don't say I love you until literally 40% in. So this person's, I don't know where they've got that from, but I always knew it was never going to be for everyone, so there we are. Let's do City of Lies and Legends by Kayla Edwards. I gave it 4.5 stars. I loved it so much. First, I was low-key glad to know Lauren was still in a coma. I finished the last book hoping she'd die. And honestly, I hope she does die. I hate her character. I do find Lauren quite irritating in the second book. I kind of agree. I also wouldn't have been mad if she died, but alas, she's the main character, so. I DNF'd this book because I didn't like the characters or the plot. I just didn't care to continue. The world building feels like a black hole of nothingness. Someone said, trash. Major depresso from beginning to the end of the 64% that I read of this book. Had to stop reading because I was so down. No thank you. Loads and absolutely loads of 1 stars with no review at all. Like, oh my god, loads. I'm not even joking. Just 1 stars, no reviews, no reviews, no reviews, no reviews. Okay, Severed Heart by Kate Stewart. This book literally ripped my heart out of my chest and stomped on it multiple times. But it was 5 stars, of course. I don't know how anyone could not like this book. DNF'd at 19%. Dom is written with less personality than stale white bread. Delphine is insufferable, Tyler is a hypocrite, and his obsession makes no sense. And it's also so fucking long. Yeah, to be honest, I could have had double the size. I wanted more. This was an absolute no for me, and I hated that. I hated it because I absolutely love The Ravenhood. Well, you can't love it that much, can you? Because this story was a fucking masterpiece. DNF, I love this world, but I cannot get into this one. I would rate this 0 stars if I could. It's unnecessarily long, doesn't feel like a Ravenhood series book. Because it's a spin-off. Both Tyler and Delphine are boring, predictable characters. No happy ever after in sight. This is what we've been waiting for after One Last Rainy Day. Seriously? More emotional trauma? Not sure I'll be continuing on with this series. I'm not being funny, but Delphine dies in the Ravenhood series, so how could you be expecting a happy ever after? You know that she dies going into the story, right? Like, so disappointed with this book. I loved the first 40% and then could not stand Delphine any longer. DNF'd at 80%, hoping the next one's better. No, people need to read the end. Let's get into my favourite series of all time, the Throne of Glass series. So starting with The Assassin's Blade. Can we talk about how bad of an assassin Selena is? I'm Selena Sardothian, damn you all. Does he know he's talking to me? The Selena Sardothian? I can eat your flesh in your sleep. I'm Selena Sardothian. And then, if they put in stars, falls in the first trap they made. If this is the most powerful assassin in all continents, then God help the worst. Managed to read The Assassin and the Pirate Lord. Lord, it was atrocious. I want to love this series. Everyone raves about the sequels. I really, really want to love it. There is nothing I like better than a kick-ass girl in a fantasy novel, but some things I can't get over. Selena's entitlement, Selena's lack of killing anyone. Most of the killing was off-page. It wasn't assassination, it was murdering people because she was irritable and itching for a fight. If you thought that post-Endovia Selena was annoying, well, pre-Endovia Selena is going to be a nightmare for you, as she was for me. Really was not a fan of this book at all, didn't really like any of the characters, and I already had some spoilers since I read Throne of Glass beforehand. Very meh. See, I read Assassin's Blade first, and that was definitely the right decision for me. So Throne of Glass was 4.75 for me. Are you kidding me? What the hell is this shit? How do you screw up your story quite so badly after starting from an incredible premise involving the most notorious assassin? Characters were badly written, the plot was full of telling instead of showing. Very underwhelmed after hearing for years this was the YA series to read. If this garbage can get somehow miraculously published, then I have hope the smut I wrote 3 years ago can too. This book is fucking horrible. Selena Sardothian is the best assassin in the world. She really is. That is, the best. She is also good at everything else. She's extremely pretty, which is commented on by every male character at virtually any occasion. She is great at swordplay. She is even great at playing the piano. And also, she is the best assassin ever, really. Many things bugged me about this book, many, but the only one I consider an unforgivable offence is that it was extremely boring. Okay, I'm not going to continue with them because literally like 8 books, so let's not. Insatiable by Lee Rivers. I gave it 4.5. Let's see what people have to say about this, and I can imagine there's a lot. The only sane person in this book is Cade's dad. Mind you, he's in a fucking asylum. Oh my god. A doormat main character? Check. Tension, romance, angst? Check. Just kidding, there's literally nothing in this book but pure smut. All there was is smut. If they just kept their hands to themselves and had one civil conversation, the entire trilogy would be 5 pages long. I'm too old for this bullshit. I'm sick of mediocrity. This was quite literally so bad. It was not only horrible fanfic writing, but an absolute mess of a plot. I've seen people comparing Cade Mitchell with Zaid Meadows. It's my personal opinion, but I don't think they should be compared in the first place. Do not read this. This is the worst shit I've ever read in my life. It made my Wattpad library look like fine literature. With that being said, I will continue to read the second book. You gave it 1 star, you're still gonna read book 2? I mean, fair. Wild Card by Elsie Silver. I got an arc of this book and I gave it 5 stars. I loved it so much. This whole series, honestly, every book 5 stars for me. I loved it. It takes a special kind of talent to make such a fun trope boring as hell. This book also should have been fed to the raccoons. This was a waste of my day. I'm glad it wasn't super long because it would have been a DNF. This read like millennial cringe. Corny. Calling this book Wild Card is like calling oatmeal thrilling. Listen, I don't know what that was, but what the helly. I just want to erase this from my head. It hurts. Also, I hate everyone except Clyde. Disappointing and underwhelming way to finish the series. Ain't no way. Love Arranged by Lauren Asher. This will be my last one. 1.5 stars. So like, no surprise here, I hated this book. And yes, I know I set myself up for disappointment because I'd barely seen a single positive review. It was so bad I want to give you a 0, but that's not possible, so I give you a 1. Also, the demons I fought trying to finish this book are insane. If the amount of fucks I gave about this book grew on a land, then the land would be barren. This made me feel nothing but annoyance. I loved it. Picked up something light to help with the reading block. Might have had the opposite effect. Hated this, but I have a problem of not being able to DNF. Didn't care about the characters, didn't even really like them, and their love story was just stupid. They had no chemistry at all. People are wild with their reviews. Absolutely wild. Some of the things people write. I did just post a video going through all the books that I have DNF'd this year. I don't rate them though. If I DNF a book, I don't give it a rating and I don't review it because I don't think that's fair. Like some of these people, I think that's mean. If you've not read the whole story, how can you judge it? It's just my opinion. But I will leave that video right here if you do want to stay for a while. And if you've made it this far, then thank you so much for watching.